Okay, we had a little audio-video trouble. No problem at all. We're so happy to see all. Look at, I can see silhouettes of all of our closest friends. Thank you so much for being here, being a part of it. I'm going to ask my kids to come up. Hannah and Cody and where's Abby and Will? Will, come up here, buddy. Okay, come on. Thank you all so much for bearing with us tonight. I've been in the war room here. I'm having to manage about 250 races around the country tonight. I want to tell you we feel really good about that. But yeah. One of the reasons that we feel so good is because we're so happy to see all of you. And it's been too long. I've been away a bit this year. We had a few things going on. But we're so grateful that you're here tonight. I don't know if you know this, but they called our race, so I've just been reelected again. So some of y'all come over here and even this out. Look, this is a roughshod production tonight because we've had a few things going on, and I just want to tell you, we're so honored to be serving Louisiana's 4th Congressional District again. It's been the honor of a lifetime to serve my hometown here and the surrounding district. After redistricting, our 4th district now encompasses almost 800,000 people. We've got 20 parishes, 5 media markets, and it goes from the Arkansas state line almost to the Gulf of Mexico. So it's the best part of America. I keep telling everybody, exactly right. We could not do this without the prayers and the encouragement, the friendship, the support of all of you and people all over the state, and that's what has sustained us in what has been the craziest, most unexpected year of our lives. I don't know if you realize this, but being Speaker of the House was not on our bucket list. We didn't know this was going to happen, and it did. 10 years ago, I was just practicing law here. I had no idea that we were going to get into politics. I had no idea. It wasn't even in our imagination that we'd be elected to Congress, much less for a 5th term to Congress. And I certainly didn't have Speaker of the House on the bingo card, okay? A lot of reasons for that, but it happened, and we've been called to this service, and we've taken it very seriously, because how many of you know our nation's in very serious times right now? And we got to have steady hands at the wheel, and that's what we've tried to do in these unprecedented, uncharted waters in which we find ourselves. There's never before been a speaker change in the middle of a Congress, ever, in the whole history of the country. And there's never before been a Speaker of the House elected from the state of Louisiana. So that's kind of cool. It's been a wild ride for us. I have had to travel the state, of course, and get reelected and take care of all the issues and things here. But then we also had to travel the country, because the Speaker of the House's job is to ensure that we keep and grow our House majority, and that we get really qualified candidates in these races to flip some of the blue seats to red. Can I give you a good report tonight? I think that's exactly what's going to happen, okay? They gave me the stats today. This morning, I was in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is one of the most important swing states. I did 2 of our key districts there the day before. I did 2 districts in Virginia with our candidates. We've been all over the place. In fact, they told me the stats. As of this morning, I led 342 campaign events in 260 cities across 40 states, and I traveled enough miles to circle the globe 5.5 times. That's what I did in the last 11 months. Yeah. President Trump told me, he said, "Mike, we got to leave it all on the field." And we did. We left it all on the field. Some of you know I was 4 inches taller when I got this job. They beat me down mercilessly. We're going to keep going. We could not have done it without your help, and I just want to specifically thank the love of my life, Kelly Johnson. We made 25 years marriage this year. I said, boy, if we survive this one, this will be the big one. She made an awesome bio video that broke tonight. I don't know, it was so good, we didn't get to see it, but maybe one day you will. And it was so kind, and she's been the perfect helpmate to me along the way. She is super talented. She is the talent in the family, and yeah, thank you. And because we didn't have enough going on this year, we had a marriage in the family. That seemed like a great idea. Hannah and Cody got married in June. What a brilliant timing that was, guys. Well,
we're said
We're so glad to have Cody in the family. We've known him since sixth grade. He's a good guy, and they've started their lives. Hannah's about to finish law school, and Abby over here is working in Washington, D.C. now, graduated and going to go to law school. And then Will is our family mascot. Thank you, Will, for taking care of it. Yes. Jack's not here tonight because he's a freshman at the Naval Academy. And so keep him in your prayers. He made the boxing team. I said, son, can we do the rowing team? We don't break our nose 10 times. Anyway, we'll see where that goes. Look, I have to give a lot of thanks, too, to the team. I have the best team in the country. They serve this district so well. I can't even begin to name them all tonight because I think I've got 120 employees now because that's what it takes to manage all the job of the speaker. But here in the district, they're hard at work, and they take care of our veterans and our farmers and our small business owners and the churches and the families and all the needs that everybody has with the federal government. And they provide the best constituent services. I hear it all the time. People call and text me and stop me when I'm on the road, say, your team is so awesome. And I am so, so grateful to every single one of them for getting the job done. Top-notch constituent service is what the people need and deserve, and we're providing it. We are trying to transport Louisiana's values to the swamp, the real swamp in D.C. And you know what those values are. We believe in the founding principles of the country. We believe in the ideas of faith and family and freedom, and we're trying to live that out every day. And it's not always welcomed in the nation's capital, but it's very important for us to do that. I think that what we're trying to preserve ultimately is the American dream. It's only in America that something like this would be possible. And I'm so grateful for all of you for helping us along the way. We got a lot of work to do. And I want to tell you what I believe. We're watching everything very closely tonight. It may be a long night. I think in a little bit we're going to go to Mar-a-Lago, I think, and be down there with President Trump. But I think at the end of the day, I think at the end of the night, when they tabulate all this, I am very hopeful that we're going to have not only a larger majority in the House to make my job easier, but we retake the Senate and the White House as well. I think that's what's going to happen. Listen, when we win this thing, and I think we will, and not to put the cart before the horse, but we're going to be prepared to lead because we are facing the greatest collection of challenges that our country has faced probably since World War II, if not the Civil War. We're on the verge of World War III. You have our adversaries that have seen weakness projected on the world stage. Russia, China, Iran, North Korea are actually coordinating together right now. These are very serious times, and we have to take it seriously. And you need serious leaders, and you need a new direction. Now, everywhere I've been around the country, and I told you how many cities and places and events I've done, everybody's fed up and fired up. They're fed up about the cost of living and the rising crime rates and the wide open border and the weakness on the world stage. But we have the solutions to all that. And when Republicans regain control, which we pray tonight that that's what's going to happen, we're going to have the most aggressive first 100 days agenda that anybody's seen in a modern era. And we got to fix everything. I want to tell you, I was with President Trump backstage. I said this on Fox and Friends this morning. I hope y'all weren't up that early, but we did a little thing in a cafe in Pennsylvania, and I told him a story very quickly. I was backstage at the Washington Hilton about 7 or 8 weeks ago with President Trump, and he was crisscrossing the country, and I was doing the same. We're going to different swing states, covering all the bases. We touched gloves in the green room at the hotel, because he had just spoken at a ballroom full of people, and I'd done another event. We were talking about everything. I think by my count, he had done 5 events that day in I think 3 different states. It's about 10:45 at night. We're sitting in the green room talking, and his staff comes in, taps him on the shoulder, says, Mr. President, we got to go. Your pilots are going to time out on Trump Force One, which means he'd have to stay grounded. Can't stay grounded. So he stands up, and he buttons his coat, and he's about to walk out of the room. And I said, Mr. President, I just want to say, your stamina is so inspiring to me and to all of us. Mr. President, you didn't have to do this. You had a great life, right? Why would you even subject yourself to this again? You know, I mean, they've been attacking you since you came down the golden escalator. They have engaged in lawfare. They've just tried to destroy your reputation and your family. They've brought you to court, and they've even taken actual shots at you, sir. And I just want to say it inspires me. And he unbuttoned his coat, got real serious, sat back down on the edge of the chair, leaned in on his knees, and he said, Mike, I'm not going to do it in his voice. He said, Mike, we got to leave it all on the field. He said, because what if we lost? We'd never be able to forgive ourselves. What if we could have done one more event, one more rally, shaken one more hand? He said, I told my staff to book out every hour of every day between now and the election because we got to leave it all on the field. I said, Mr. President, you're right. He buttoned his coat up and left. The next morning, I had all the House Republicans together. We do a weekly breakfast together. And I told him that story. And I said, if our nominee for president can give that level of commitment, if he can leave it all on the field, then every single one of us has to do the same. And that's what our colleagues have been doing around the country. That's exactly right. All of us have to do that because we're fighting for freedom. I want to introduce somebody else, another special guest, and this is a great honor to us. But in the House of Representatives, there's Speaker of the House, and you have Majority Leader. That's Steve Scalise. By the way, first time in history any state has had the top two officers at the same time. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then we have the whip, that's Tom Emmer, Minnesota. And then we have the conference chair. So the leader of the House Republican Conference is Elise Stefanik of New York. You probably heard of Elise. Yeah, she's pretty famous. Well, guess what? She's in Shreveport with us tonight. Elise, come up here, will you? Elise Stefanik, everybody. She is here celebrating with us, and she's a very important person. You might have seen her little video where she took down the Ivy League presidents on their anti-Semitism. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's only been seen by 2.2 billion people. It's the most watched congressional hearing of all time. So you might want to get her autograph before she leaves tonight. But we're grateful to have you, and y'all show her a little Louisiana hospitality tonight. I know you will. So look, it's too early to call everything, but we're very optimistic. I mean, it looks good. I've been in the war room. I'm calling the candidates as they're calling the races. All of our friends, we're congratulating them. We got some awesome people joining the conference. We got new members coming in, and I think we're going to have many more. So it's going to be a good night, and I think ultimately, I pray, I believe that God's not done with America yet. I think he's going to give us another chance. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. Listen, at the end of the day, Ronald Reagan used to remind us of a number of things, and he said, freedom is not inherited in the bloodstream. It's got to be fought for and protected. It's got to be taught and passed along to the next generation so that our children and our grandchildren can have the same liberty and opportunity and security that we have known. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, we are so, so grateful to all of you. We couldn't imagine to do anything like this without your help. That's a drone. That's not a threat, I don't think. We're a little watchful tonight. They said, sir, you can't do it in open air. Oh, it'll be fine. It's Shreveport. I don't know. I don't know. Listen, we're bullish about the future. I believe America's best days are ahead of us. And we're going to keep our steady hands at the wheel. We're going to dig in and do the work. And we have a great team to get that done. Will you keep the whole of Congress in your prayers? Will you keep the president, whoever wins, keep them in your prayers? Because I believe we can turn this thing around and we can keep this great nation that God has blessed us with. Thank y'all so much for being a part of this tonight. We appreciate you so much. God bless you. Yeah. Thank you so much. So we got a lot more food and stuff, and we're going to be monitoring the races, and I'll be in and out. But let's see. Let's keep our fingers crossed and keep praying. God bless you. Thank you for being here.